so in your Romeo and Juliet exam, it is structured slightly differently to your Inspector Calls exam, where you just have an extract that you use within an essay for Inspector Calls. For Romeo and Juliet, you have two separate questions. So you have an extract question, that's the first 20 minutes, and it's worth 15 marks. And then you have an essay question, that's the next 40 minutes, and it's worth 20 marks for the essay and 5 marks for SPAG. And we're going to focus on that in the live lesson. So going back to the extract question, spend 20 minutes. So you open it, you read the question, you read through the extract, highlighting and pulling out key bits from the beginning, the middle, and the end. And then you try and write up an answer with at least 3 sort of little pearls in it. So if we go through the steps here, we should see that what I've just said is repeated. And again, it shouldn't be new information, okay? We've gone over this with Romeo and Juliet, but also it's what we expect you to do with poetry, what we expect you to do with the extract in Inspector Calls, and it's what we expect you to do with language answers as well. So that consistent approach of opening, reading the question, reading the extract, highlighting beginning, middle, end should be starting to be really entrenched into what you do now. The quicker you, or the more you practice and the more used to that process you are, the more able you'll be able to do it in the exam. And that means you will save time in the exam, save really valuable processing time. Okay, so the question that we're going to think about. Look at how Romeo and Juliet speak and behave here. How do you think an audience might respond to this part of the play? Refer closely to details from the extract to support your answer. Now, the key information here, and I have actually just realised I've missed from my steps here to bug the question. What I would like you to do, actually, I'm going to put it as the first task, is I would like you to bug that question, and I'm just going to talk you through the important things now, okay? Because this question is phrased a little bit differently to any of the other questions. So yes, you focus on Romeo and Juliet. You focus on how they speak and behave. So you want to actually look really closely at their speech, but also their actions, their behaviour towards each other. But the key bit is this bit. How do you think an audience might respond to this part of the play? Given what has already happened and what the audience already know, what might they think? What might they now think might happen going forward? What might the audience's worries be? What might their feelings be towards these characters? What might they think about what's going to happen? So remember, what might they feel? What might they imagine? Or what might they think about what's going on stage? So what we're going to do now is we're going to read through the extract, okay? Now you can choose how to use this video. You can watch it all now and then you can come back and do this task, or you can do it in stages. So you might want to pause the video now, bug the question, and then unpause the video in a second, and I will go through the extract. Okay, so the extract is in this document, week 7, IJ, year 11, Romeo and Juliet extract. Look at how Romeo and Juliet speak and behave here. How do you think an audience might respond to this part of the play? Refer closely to details from the extract to support your answer. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to read the extract, okay? I'm going to talk about what my thought process might be in the middle of the exam. And then I'm going to go back and pick out what I think might be some key things from the beginning, the middle, and the end, referring to how they speak and behave and what the audience might think. Now, you might want to choose to do this by yourself before I do it. That would be more of a challenge, but it would also be a better way to kind of train yourself to do it independently in the exam. So you might want to pause now, do the reading and the highlighting yourself, and then watch me go through the rest of the video, go through the extract for the rest of the video and see whether you pulled out relevant things. Okay, so I'm now going to read through the extract. Romeo to Juliet. If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this: my lips, to blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss. Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this, for saints have hands, that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss. Have not saints lips, and holy palmers too? Ay, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer. Oh then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair. Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake. Then move not, while my prayer's effect I take. They kiss. Thus from my lips, by thine, my sin is purged. Then have my lips the sin that they have took. Sin from my lips? O trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again. They kiss. You kiss by the book. Nurse. Madam, your mother craves a word with you. Juliet moves away. Romeo. What is her mother? Nurse. Marry, bachelor. Her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, a wise and virtuous. I nursed her daughter, that what you taught withal. I tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks. Romeo, aside. Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear account, my life is my foe's debt. Benvolio, away, begone, sport is at the best. Romeo, ay, so I fear, the more is my unrest. So we've got this bit where Romeo and Juliet are basically first meeting, their first impression, and it's this kind of really extreme love at first sight. They're very flirty with each other straight away. Then they kiss very, very quickly. Remember, in the time that this was in, this would have been very, very quick, very forward. And then at the end of this extract, Romeo realizes who Juliet is, and Benvolio advises him that this is not a game he wants to play, basically. So this extract basically features an extended metaphor. And the extended metaphor is that Romeo is some kind of pilgrim that has sinned in some way, and Juliet is a saint that can absolve him of all of his sins. So he's saying to her that basically I've been a bad person, and you look like some kind of angel, some kind of saint from heaven, and your kiss will cure me of all my sins. And she's saying, "Oh, sir, really?" So it's this kind of flirtatious conversation right from the beginning. So he's saying at the beginning here, I offer my unworthiest hand, this holy shine. And then he says, my lips are two blushing pilgrims. They're pilgrims that want to go on this religious kind of journey to absolve themselves of sin. Because if we go on a pilgrimage in real life, if we go on a pilgrimage in real life, what happens is that we go to some kind of religious kind of area or religious emblem, whatever religion you are, and you are by going there, you show your kind of dedication to God, and your sins are purged in some way. And so when he says, "My lips are two blushing pilgrims, ready to stand smooth to that rough touch," he's describing his lips as the pilgrims, and he's saying, if you kiss them, you're going to absolve them of their sin. She then says, good pilgrim, you do wrong your hands so much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss. So she's kind of saying there, you could just kiss my hand, that might be the same sort of thing. And also that you kind of wrong yourself because you've obviously devoted in some way to talk about it in this way. Now they go on. Sorry, I'm just going to have to pause the video for 2 seconds. We'll carry on in a sec. So then when she says, saints do not move, grant for prayer's sake a bit further down here, she's basically saying that she will say, stay still while he kisses her, and then that can purge his sin. And then, so all of this bit here is him kind of convincing her to let him kiss her, and she's kind of being a bit bashful about it. Now, that conversation would have been very forward at the time anyway, but you can see those male and female roles kind of interplaying where he's kind of doing the pushing, and she's kind of saying, oh, I can't let you do that yet. And then she kind of opts out of making the decision by saying she's just going to stay still, basically. And then he says, move not while my prayers effect I take. So he's saying, I've prayed for this moment and now it's going to come true. And then they kiss. So their actions might be quite shocking to the audience at this point, especially an audience at the time who wouldn't have been used to romance moving quite so quickly. But that Shakespeare would have been intended to show them the seriousness and the kind of devotion of Romeo and Juliet's feelings from the second that they meet each other and how attracted they are to each other straight away. Then she kind of makes the assumption here, then have my lips the sin that they have took. So, oh no, now you've kissed me, your sin must be on my lips. You're going to have to kiss me again to take that sin back again. Oh no, what a shame. It's kind of like that sort of thing going on. So she says, sin from my lips, oh trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again. So they must kiss again. And then she says you kiss by the book. So you kiss well, you kiss in the way that we should be instructed to kiss, is what she's saying there. So then the nurse comes and says, Madam, your mother cries away. So this is a way that Shakespeare removes Juliet from the scene and allows the nurse and Romeo to have some interaction here. So she says, listen, bachelor, listen, single guy. Her mother is the lady of the house. She's a good lady and she's wise and she's kind of virtuous, which means good. Innocent and acts like a woman should. I nursed her daughter, who you were talking with, and I can tell you that whoever is going to get hold of her is going to have money, basically. And then Romeo says an aside. Remember, an aside is something where the actor says it on stage or the character says it on stage, but the rest of the characters can't hear them, but obviously the audience can. So it's kind of like a thought. So Romeo goes, oh my gosh, oh dear account, my life is my foe's death. So straight away, he's thinking of her as her life, as his life. And he says his life is my enemy's debt. My foe is my enemy. And then Benvolio says, oh, let's go. This is sport at the best. Like, you're not going to get anything out of this. This shouldn't be a game that you want to play. And Romeo already feels like this is something that might affect his life. So I fear the more is my unrest. So what you should have done is picked out something key from at least the beginning, the middle, and the end. If we can do 2 bits in the middle, that's great. So straight away, this is like, straight away, the first thing that I'd be doing is placing this in context of the whole play. So I want to show the examiner that I know where this is from. So Act 1, Scene 5, if I can be that precise, that's brilliant. If you knew that, that's brilliant. If you just know it's from Act 1 or the end of Act 1, that is better than not saying it at all. Remember, you have to know this information on your own in the exam, all right? So you start by just identifying, right, this is from Act 1, Scene 5. This is the first time Romeo and Juliet meet. That's why it's an important part of the play. It's significant to the play. And the examiner is going to have started this extract and ended this extract in those places for a reason. So what can I take right from the beginning? The holy shrine, the gentle sin is this. And my lips, 2 blushing pilgrims. I would take how forward he's being. How right from the beginning he's talking about how a kiss can take away his sin and she's the one to absolve that sin. And straight away an audience would be sitting up, paying attention and thinking, well, these guys are really kind of being quite out there with each other. And I want to find something that shows Juliet flirting back. She's not offish. She's not like, no, I'm not interested. Straight away, she's like, good pilgrim. So she feels that attraction straight away as well. And she's saying here, your lips must be used in prayer. They don't need to be used for kissing. Or saints do not move, but they do grant for prayer's sake. So I will grant your prayer, but I'm not going to move for it. So it's kind of this like playing hard to get bit of banter kind of going on there. The part where they kiss, the stage direction is absolutely key, I think. And the fact that Juliet comes up with this reason to kiss again that shows her enjoyment. And then at the end, finding out that Juliet is potentially a foe. And it's really, really important that you focus, especially at the end, on what the audience are going to be thinking now. What does this make the audience predict? What was Shakespeare's intention? Did he want them to start worrying? Did he want them to start thinking, oh God, this is going to be some kind of spiral of uncontrollable events now? Okay, so when you've done that, you might want to pause here and go through and annotate the extract. When you've done that, come back to slide 8. Make sure you've followed all of those instructions, highlighting the key words and phrases to help you answer the question. You come down to slide 9, and you're going to complete this. What happens in the beginning, the middle, and the end. Now, it's not okay at this stage to say, I don't know. I've just told you in this video. All right. So if you're not sure, go back, watch the video again. Find a website that explains Act 1, Scene 5. There's loads of them out there. Go back and watch the video from earlier in the lesson. There are loads of things you can do to help yourself, all right? Okay, then what I want you to do, just try and write a quick overview paragraph using the instructions on slide 10. So there are 4 kind of key points to survive, to be successful there. And then on slide 12, I'm just going to include one more video where I explain the written answer to you.